Hi, I'm Gary Witt, and I'd like to talk to you about the application of marketing psychology to the design of advertising, specifically this time, print advertising. In print advertising, or any other kind of advertising, the first thing that you have to do is to grab the attention of the viewer, the reader, in order to get them into the ad. If you don't get their attention, if they just simply turn the page, you've wasted that opportunity. So when we look at the psychological design of advertising, the first thing we have to look at is the picture. The picture is critical. We are visual animals. We look at pictures first. I tell my students that the only two words I can think of in an advertisement, in a headline, that would grab attention faster than a picture is free and sex. And if you put them together in the same headline, one student says, you'll have a great headline. But for us, we have to look at the picture. Now, what is the purpose of the picture? One, it is to grab your attention. But it has to do more than that. It has to offer a promise. It has to stimulate a desire or a fear or something that is going to make you want to read more. In the great eharmony.com ad, for example, which is obviously targeted to people who want a long-term relationship or marriage, the picture is of a couple that has just gotten married. And so when you are thumbing through a magazine and you see this picture, it stimulates oh, I wish that was me, or I wish that I had a relationship like that. It stimulates a memory in you, a desire. So the picture then has to grab attention, and it has to stimulate something in the buyer that makes them say, oh, I wish I had that, or I fear this, or whatever. That drives them to look at the headline. The headline then has two purposes. Number one, it has to reinforce the promise or the stimulus of the picture. In the eharmony.com ad, for example, it says, everlasting love. Everlasting love is exactly what the picture is promising, but it's done verbally. So you've got two things within just a second or two that have made two promises to the target market. One is the picture, one is the headline. Now the second thing that a headline has to do is it has to drive people to read the body copy. It has to be enough of a promise, it has to be enough of a stimulus, it has to be enough of a question in order to get them to read further. It may stimulate their curiosity, desire, whatever it might be. Okay? Then the body copy is the third thing that people will read. Now, in most advertising, there is a trade-off. It's not a trade-off that the customer is aware of, the reader is aware of. A lot of times it's not a trade-off that the advertiser is aware of either, but it's there in the mind of the buyer. And that trade-off is this. The buyer says, I will give you a little bit of my valuable time. In exchange, you give me something of value to me. What is it? Well, it could be helpful information. It could be a joke. It could be making me laugh. It could be something that is going to relieve some anxiety that I have. Doesn't matter. One of the things that you'll see that is very popular in print advertising is something like, take this quiz. Right? Maybe it is a question about, are you introverted? And there'll be maybe 5 questions in boxes and so on. People like this because it is a way that they can find out more about themselves. Whether it's accurate or not, the implication is they can learn something. And the value of this example is to show that people will give you some time if you are giving them something that they perceive of to be of value. So now you get down to the body copy, and the body copy is where you are going to sell the product. But remember, in marketing psychology, the fundamental principle is people do not want what you are selling. So in the body copy, you don't really try to sell that to them. What you do is you focus on selling them their anticipated satisfaction. So in the body copy for eHarmony, the first line or two is all about the satisfaction people want. Do you want a relationship that lasts a lifetime? Well, basically, that's the third promise they've made in the space of 5 seconds. The picture, the headline, and now the first line in the body copy. We want to first stimulate the satisfactions, the desired satisfactions people have, and then later in the body copy, after we've made the promise we can deliver, then and only then do we talk about the features of the product which are going to prove we can deliver. For example, the eHarmony.com talks about the 26 in-depth aspects of the design of the personality profile that you will get on anybody that looks attractive to you. And then one of the last lines is that eHarmony.com has created more successful long-term relationships than any of their competitors. So that's how you use marketing psychology to design a print ad. You can do the same thing with your video ads, with your online ads, whatever it is. You have to focus on stimulating the satisfactions they want, and then using the features of the product to promise that you can deliver on that promise. I'm Gary Witt, and we will talk more about marketing psychology next time.